Alright guys, we are back for another van video. This time I'm by myself. I left Will in Elkhart and I took the 6-hour drive yesterday up to Door County, Wisconsin. So I'm spending the next 3 days here, going to try to explore as much of this beautiful area. It's already reminding me a lot of Michigan. So we are starting the day in Sturgeon Bay, which is pretty much the entrance to Door County. So I'm going to pop around here a little bit this morning, maybe grab a coffee, and then we're going to start heading up north on the peninsula. So it's just me, so I can kind of move around really quick, gather a lot of content, take a lot of photos. So let's jump back in the van, get some coffee. I actually already got a coffee. We'll get second coffee and then hit the road. Okay, before we start the drive up north, I need to dump my toilet. Now, this is the second time I'm dumping the toilet in this van. The first time I did it at my parents' house. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as scary as I was expecting. But I want to show you guys on camera, if you haven't had a Class B van or anything before, and you're used to regular RVs, what that process looks like. So in this van, I have a cassette toilet, and so you actually can take it out and dump it. So I came over to Potawatomi State Park. I think I'm saying that right. I'm actually staying here tonight, but I came in here because they have a dump station right near the entrance. So I just want to dump real quick, only because my tank is filled to the brim. So let me show you what that looks like. So on the driver's side of the van, you have this panel here. You get a key for it. And then a little handle will pop out once you unlock it. Okay, actually, I just realized I forgot to put gloves on, so give me a second. And then it's super easy. There's this little blue tab on the bottom that you just pull up on, and then you can actually pull the whole Okay, well, don't be like me because I overflowed the tank a little bit. So it was a little bit of pee-pee that I had to clean up. So this is what it should look like, untouched. And the nice thing is, if you had to take this like a further distance, little luggage cart type of thing, so that you could literally roll this wherever you need to go. Okay, so essentially this is the spout that you unscrew and just dump right into there. It's not like when you have an RV black tank and you're gonna like hook up a stinky slinky or whatever. You literally just unscrew this, pour it right into the tank. So I guess it's a little bit grosser than the black tank, but also it is nice that you can just take this out and not have to get close to the dump station. So I do like that feature. Okay, and then once it's actually dumped, I'm gonna take this water flush that they have right here, spray some water in, put the cap back on, shake it around just to kind of get anything loose off the sides, dump it one more time. This water is not for drinking, it's for flushing, so make sure you never get drinking water from a water hookup near a sewer dump like this. There's actually a separate water hookup up there I'm gonna use for potable water. Give it the old whirl a swirl. I'm sitting here waiting for my freshwater tank to fill, and I know these people were like, what is this girl doing? Because first they were watching my whole toilet dump debacle because they were in line behind me. Then I pull up here, then I'm hooking up the water. I put the filter on first, then the water hose. Well, it felt like no water was flowing through.
So I'm sitting here trying to like figure it out, trying to now unhook the filter, thinking like, well, maybe I put the filter on backwards, or maybe something's just weird with the filter. So as I'm trying to hook it, because I can't release water pressure from the hose.
So water is just like spraying all over me. This woman's like in her car just looking at me. So now I'm soaking wet. It's like a flex hose, and it wasn't kinked, but it was like twisted just enough to stop the water flow or like really slow it down. So now I'm getting unfiltered water, because once I took the filter off, I was like, ain't no going back on. All in all, I feel like this whole dump fill experience is taking me like an hour. But I am at 70%, so we're almost done. Okay, now that my toilet is dumped, I have water. I came over to the little camp store to park for a second because apparently the dump station is like a popular place this morning. What's that? I just finished. I'll be out in a second. So now that my tank is empty, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water in. I could have actually done this with the water spout like at the dump station and saved on my fresh water a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and just add it at the toilet level. And now also, since my tank is empty, I'm going to go ahead and add liquefied in. Once you dump it is when you want to add in like your toilet treatment of choice. Obviously, I love liquefied. And I will say it did a really good job, because dumping the cassette toilet, you can really see what's coming out. And it was all liquid. Like, I didn't see any solids. I didn't even really see toilet paper, but I'm sure there was like little pieces, you just couldn't see it. So that's a really good sign that your toilet treatment is actually breaking down the waste and not just masking the smell. Now, real quick, I do want to tell you guys about a summer sale that Liquefied is doing right now. If you buy a 3-pack of 32-ounce orange, just like this, you'll get 20% off. So that's ends up being about $20 a bottle. So great savings, and it's really the time to stock up because we're entering the camping season. If you're camping a lot, you're gonna go through it. Now's a great time to stock up. If you haven't gotten any liquefied already, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in my tank, and then I gotta get on the road because I have a tour later today and I want to do a little bit before that starts. Tucked between Lake Michigan and Green Bay, Door County, Wisconsin is one of those rare places that still feels untouched, slow, scenic, and almost too charming to be real. It's known for its cherry orchards, lighthouses, and shoreline towns that look straight out of a postcard. It actually feels a lot like Michigan, but without all the crowds. It's peaceful, a little quirky, and somehow still underrated, which makes it the perfect escape for this van trip. I'll do a 16-ounce iced latte with, you have lavender? Okay, I'll do vanilla and lavender. Alright, so I just went into Door County Coffee and Tea Company, just a little north of Sturgeon Bay. So that place was crazy inside. They actually roast their own coffee, so you could see their huge roasting machines in the back. And then they had all this different kind of coffee, different flavors and stuff that you could make your own bag out of. But I did get a little iced latte to go. I will say I'm not the biggest fan. It's very strong / maybe a little bitter. I like a lighter roast, a little smoother. Yeah, that's strong. Whew. If you like me, a little bit lighter roast. This morning in Sturgeon Bay, I went to a place called Lawls Coffee, Lawlss, right in downtown Sturgeon Bay. That place was really good, and it was cute because I'll put a picture. It was in this old bank, so the outside looked like an old bank, and then inside they had an old-fashioned door safe. It was pretty cool. Recommend that place. So I got a chicken salad sandwich on a croissant. And I think I read that it has cherries on it because cherries are really big here in Door County. Oh no, not a croissant, a biscuit. Pretty good. Ooh, there's a cherry. Eat a little cherry pecan. If there's one thing not to miss in Door County, it's kayaking along the rugged shoreline of Cave Point. Now, I joined a small group tour with Door County Kayak Tours, and we set out in the afternoon to explore this stunning stretch of Lake Michigan. The water here is surprisingly clear with beautiful turquoise tones that make the rocky cliffs and caves even more dramatic looking. It's very peaceful, scenic, and just a really unique way to experience the area. Now, Cave Point County Park is also accessible by land, and it's a really popular stop for hikers and photographers, but I think that the real magic happens from the water. Now, on our tour, we were able to paddle right up to the caves, getting super close to the towering Dolomite cliffs, and even slipping inside a few of the sea caves. Our guide shared fun facts about how the waves carved these formations over time, and being tucked into those caves with the water echoing off the stone walls was a really cool experience. Alright, I'm back at Potawatomi State Park, where I was this morning to dump the tanks. So this is where I'll be staying tonight. I am going to go to a different state park tomorrow and kind of check that out as well. Tonight I decided to make dinner because I kind of want to turn in early, get some work done. I was trying to think of something that was very Door County-esque meal. So of course we had to incorporate cherries. Now unfortunately the grocery store that I went to, which was like a whole like organic natural market, they didn't have cherries from Wisconsin, so these cherries are from California. So I wish I could have gotten some local cherries, but I did pick up this Gentry's Granny's Cherry Crisp Hard Cider that I'm going to try. Well, I'm going to try to make cherry chicken with orzo, and then I also got some asparagus. I kind of found a recipe, but I'm also improvising with some stuff. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I'm just like going to wing it and see what happens. So that's the plan. This is my second time cooking in the van. And one hack that I learned last time from cooking the butter chicken, if you guys saw that episode. So last time I was cooking, I had the bed down, which is really stupid because putting the bed up, you get all this extra countertop to work with. Oh, it's different than normal cider because of the cherry aspect. It's still pretty good. Okay, dinner is finally done after like an hour and a half of cooking. I don't know how good it looks on camera, but it actually looks very good. Yeah, I might have overcooked the chicken just slightly. Overall, it's good. I cooked everything in the same pan because it's just easier and there's only one eye. Like, I cooked the chicken first and then everything just kept building on the flavor. So the orzo that I cooked last has like all the chicken flavors and cherry and all that in it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this and then I'm gonna get ready for bed, I think. Not gonna lie, I could have stayed in bed a lot longer this morning because I turned the AC on last night before I went to bed, and so it ran all night. So when I woke up it was like 59 degrees or something in here, so I could have just stayed under the blankets for a lot longer. It is very cozy sleeping in this van. I think just because, like, you know that it's small, I don't know, it feels like what I would imagine tent camping is like, but better, more comfortable. But like, I don't know, just feels like I'm in a little cozy pod sleeping. Okay, so the goal for today is we're gonna drive the van all the way up to the northern tip of the Door County Peninsula. There's actually an island off the coast called Washington Island, and they have a car ferry that you can take. So that's the plan for today. The only problem is I'm getting a little bit of a late start because I had some work that I had to do this morning and I had to come into town to get enough internet service. So it's about 11, so we're gonna have to book it up there so that we can, you know, have enough time there today. And then the second problem is that you can't buy tickets in advance. It's first come, first serve. So I have no idea if I'm actually gonna be able to, like, if they have room for me to take the van on. It runs every hour, and so I'm hoping that it's not super busy, but it is a Saturday. So fingers crossed we can actually get on the ferry with the van, because if I can't take the van, I probably won't be able to go. It's not like a foot traffic situation island. It's big enough that you either need a bike or a car. It's about an hour drive north, I believe. So we're gonna get on the road and hope that we can catch the ferry today. Just before you reach the Washington Island Ferry, you'll hit the Door County Curvy Highway, a 1-mile stretch of Highway 42 with 15 tight serpentine bends winding through the woods. It's a short scenic roller coaster that really slows you down, and it's definitely worth experiencing if you're going up to the north end of Door County. Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I'm not close enough.
You're not the only one that
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah.
Here's your card. Tickets for coming and going.
Thank you so much.
What, did you want them out?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. You can pull up either lane here, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Have a good day. Alright, that went actually way easier and smoother than I planned, so I just pulled up. The ferry is actually just arriving now, so I have about 30 minutes before it leaves. I'm sure we'll drive on a little earlier than that. But yeah, I just literally pulled up, bought a ticket, no issue. There's, what, 4 other cars here. I don't know how many fit on each one, but I paid $79 to go round trip. I paid a little bit more than you would if you brought a car here because I'm in the 20 to 25 foot class. It was essentially $32 each way for the vehicle, $7.50 each way for me as a person. So in total it was like 80 bucks. We're parked, so I might go pee real quick before I have to drive on. Okay.
We'll be here for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, we made it onto the ferry. They had me pull to the side and kind of wait, so I was one of the last ones on at the back. I was getting like a little worried for a second that they weren't gonna let me on and they were letting all these cars go past me. They really pack them in tight here, so I'm like inches away from the cars next to me. They fit a lot more cars on than I was expecting. Like there's probably 20 to 25 cars on this ferry. I see some people getting out of their cars and like going to the upper deck to sit. I am assuming you can also stay in your car if you want to. I'd rather sit in my van than sit with a bunch of strangers, to be honest.
Oh,
Can we stay down here or do we have to go up?
No, you can do whatever you want except
Okay.
jump overboard.
Okay. I was thinking about it, but I'm not gonna go.
Well, they actually made it a crime now.
Oh, really? Okay, so the passage that we crossed to get to Washington Island is infamously called Death's Door. It's basically the meeting point between the Bay of Green Bay and Lake Michigan. No one knows exactly why I got the name, but it's suspected that back in the 17th and 18th centuries, there was a lot of Indian wars in this area, and this passage, something about the currents and the winds, sank a lot of ships. Luckily today, it seems pretty calm, so it's not really living up to its name, but there might be other times of the year where this passage gets a lot more rough. Today we kind of lucked out. It's pretty nice weather and pretty smooth out here. It's just so weird seeing the van on a boat like this. And definitely the tallest one on this boat for sure. Alright, we have finally made it on to Washington Island, and I am driving now to the first stop, which is lunch, because I'm very hungry. It's like 1:30. Like, some of the restaurants on the island are closed today for some reason, and it's Saturday, so I'm not sure why they'd be closed. So I was gonna go to this cute little sandwich place, but they're closed. So I found this little drive-in that does burgers, so I think I'm gonna go with that just because I want something fairly quick so I can eat and get back to like exploring the island for the next couple hours. It's only like 2 minutes from here. Alright, well the good thing is that this is a really small island, so you can drive to and from things pretty quick. So I left the burger place, and 5 minutes up the road I'm now at Fragrant Isle Lavender Farm, one of the must-visit places on the island. Now unfortunately, the lavender is not in peak bloom right now. I believe that happens more in the summer, so it's not like a super vibrant lavender color, but you can still go in the shop and get like a ton of different lavender things. I think they have like macaroons and stuff too. So I'm gonna go in and see what they got. Alright, well, they had a strict no photo video rule apparently inside of there. So I did not buy anything. That's kind of like my rule of thumb. They said I could video the outside but not the inside of the store and everything, so maybe there's a reason that I don't know why businesses should care about that. I don't know why like free publicity for your business would ever be not allowed. So that's why I didn't show much of there and I didn't buy anything in there. So I'm going to go back on the road and see what the next spot. I have like a bunch of little stops pinned on my Google Maps. So I'm gonna see what's next on the route. My next stop on the island was Schoolhouse Beach, which is unique because instead of sand, it's entirely made up of smooth limestone rocks. Over thousands of years, the waves from Lake Michigan have polished these into perfectly round stones. And it's actually one of only a few beaches like this in the world. Unfortunately, the beach is slowly disappearing because so many people take these rocks home as souvenirs. So to protect it, the city put a $250 fine in place for anyone caught taking a stone. I didn't spend too long here because it was actually really cold and windy, but it was definitely worth stopping by to check it out. Right next to the beach are like really interesting. It kind of has a German or like Scandinavian forest vibe. Like actually kind of like a horror movie vibe, to be honest. I feel like I've seen some horror movie where they were in a forest like this. It's one of those forests where you could just be like looking between a tree and then it's just like a man standing there, but he blends in with the trees. Going back to the van. Alright guys, we're heading up a bunch of stairs to what's called Mountain Tower. Looks like a pretty cool viewpoint of Washington Island. I don't know if it's like a fire tower or what. It kind of has like a fire tower look to it. And I might be the only one here. I may have lucked out because there weren't any other cars in the parking lot. So I'm kind of hurrying because it'll be really cool if I'm the only one up there. Whew. I'm kind of in crunch time. It is like 3:30. The last ferry goes out at 5, but I really don't want to get there any later than 4:30 just to make sure that I have a spot on the ferry with the van. So they ran out of spots and I guess I'm staying on the island all night. So we gotta kind of hurry here. I think that's roughly where the ferry comes in. Super pretty up here. Guys, always remember, everybody poops. Look at this big trailer coming off the ferry. That is super cool. So I guess that answers the question of how big of a rig you can bring on the ferry and come here. Also a little update, I did make it back to the ferry. As you can see, I got here about 4:10 because I was just a little bit stressed that if I got here too late I wouldn't be able to get on. The ferry that we'll be getting on actually just let off. That's where that trailer got off of. And I am the second car in line to get on this ferry. And this is the last one for the day. Yeah, we're all good. No sleeping on Washington Island tonight. First car off, look at me. Alright, so we are back on the main Door County Peninsula. I went and had dinner in Sister Bay at a little place called, oh, Fat Belly. I don't know how I forgot that. But it was a little Asian restaurant. They had dumplings, ramen, sushi. It was really good. Super cute inside too. And just like a little bit off the beaten path. Not one of the very touristy restaurants in Sister Bay. It was actually starting to get a little cold and windy, so it felt good to have the hot ramen and also just not to have to cook tonight after last night. So I am now over at Peninsula State Park. So we're staying at a different state park tonight. This one, I've just kind of drove through it. It's a huge state park and it's absolutely beautiful. There's actually a ton of stuff to do here too. And the sun is still fairly high in the sky. I don't know exactly when the sun sets, but I think we have a little bit of time. So I'm going to work off a little bit of this dinner and go for a walk on Eagle Tower, which is right next to me. This is kind of like an elevated, it's like going on a hike, but it's like on a mountain tower too. I don't know how to explain it. I already actually drove and eyed out my campsite, so we're in a nice spot and everything, but I'm gonna do this first and then we'll go set up for the night. Guess I didn't do enough stairs earlier that we had to do it twice today. My knee was getting better until now. This is actually super cool, and I just happened to pick the perfect time to come because the sun is setting over there. So yeah, sunset's probably the time to come do this. It's like golden hour. There's orange hues like on this whole wooden platform, so it's really pretty. So now I'm on the little boardwalk. I think it slowly makes its way back down to ground level. So essentially you can come up or down the stairs, or you can take the ramp up. So with that being said, I believe this is like handicap accessible. I really messed up not getting firewood because I just smell everybody else's fire and it smells really good. I'm going to try to set up an internet source for me. Okay, when I picked up this Lineage van, Grand Design was nice enough to send me with a Starlink to use. So this is something that they're going to include as an option when you buy the Lineage van, that you can add on the Starlink to it. So I'm going to try to set it up for the first time. On our last trip, Will and I brought our like little T-Mobile internet and it was fine, but I forgot to bring it this trip, slash like Will also needed it at the RV. So I'm gonna see if I can get this set up. Yesterday it wasn't clear enough outside, so it looks like there's a little bit more of a tree clearing up front. So I'm gonna see if I can position the Starlink there and get it working. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Okay, we got the cord. Check. I think this is for the mounting plate. Check. Also, I believe for the mounting plate. Check. Power plug. And then Starlink herself. Honestly, I'll be glad just to get this box out of the cabinets. Okay, actually I was wrong. This little doohickey snaps into place so that you can make it like a stand on the ground. Well, in a turn of events, I have no internet, which means that I need Starlink. I can't get Starlink because I need to activate online, which I cannot do. So maybe I'll put the awning back in, drive the van down the road where I had internet, and then come back here. The things we do for internet. Alright, after more than an hour of working on the Starlink thing, I think I finally got it. I actually had to drive up the road in the state park just till I got like decent enough service that I could get on my data to like set all this up. It was actually like quite a process. I think I got double charged, so we'll figure that out tomorrow. But I did download the Starlink app and it is pretty neat. So this is what the app looks like. If you click on alignment, it will actually, like right now I have it perfectly aligned, I guess. So it will have you turn and adjust until it is aligned in the proper place. And then you can also go on and go to obstructions, and it'll kind of give you an idea of like how much is obstructing its view, which is typically like trees. I have a little bit of obstruction going on with the trees. Luckily, in the site I'm in, right above me is a clearing. So I'm pretty much just facing straight up, but slightly like north oriented. Let's do a speed test. Let's see what we're working with. 148 megs download, 14 upload. So that is pretty good considering in this site here I was on SOS and had absolutely no service. So glad that that's all set up now. So I think I'm gonna shower, close up for the night, and get ready for bed. So one of the reasons why I really wanted to get Starlink set up tonight is because Will and Matt are live on YouTube tonight, packing orders. It is the final few hours of the RV sweepstakes that Liquefied is doing. I mean, it's been going for a month, so it's like the final countdown hours. And so people are like putting in their last minute orders, getting bonus points, they're spinning wheels and packing orders and stuff. So they've been going live now for almost 5 hours, and I've been popping on, off and on. It's exciting to watch them. I'm so proud of them. They're doing an amazing job with the company, and they both work so hard on the business and care so much about it and so much about the customers and the employees and the company. And so I'm just super proud of them, and I'm excited to see who ends up winning the free RV that they're giving away. It's an Alliance Delta, which is pretty nice. They're wrapping up, so I'm gonna finish watching them and then try to get to bed a little bit earlier tonight so I can start heading back to Indiana tomorrow. Also, if you didn't know, these bed lights, you can do regular like this or blue light. Good night. Good morning, guys. I am heading out of Door County today, unfortunately. I've had a really nice time here, and I definitely want to come back with Will soon. I think like this summer, because he really wants to come here as well. And I think there's even more that we can do if we come back. But there is one more thing that I have to hit before I leave. It's something that's really important if you're coming to Door County. It's kind of like if you don't do it, you can't even say that you've been here at all.
Hello! Hi. I'm on the floor. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
What is she doing on the floor?
It smells amazing in here.
I'm so glad.
All right, we got the goods. So Door County's known for cherries, so obviously I had to get cherry pie. And so I stopped by Sweetie Pies, which is a really cute name. The owner was super nice, and it smelled like heaven when you walked in. Like, it smelled like fruit, sugar, dough heaven. I got a slice for me to have a little bit right now. This is gonna be like my breakfast. That way I can try it for you guys, let you know what it's like. And then for Will, I got this little mini pie, which is called a cutie pie. If you want a full pie from there, you do have to call and reserve ahead of time, just a heads up. Okay, let's try this one now though. And here's what I love about this. Is this the prettiest looking pie? No, you can tell, I mean, it's a pretty pie, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, like, is it all perfect looking? No, but you can like see the real cherries in there and everything. I love how the sauce was like overflowing, and you can see the sugar kind of hardened on the crust. Look at that. Oh yeah, you can tell it's like really fresh cherries. This isn't like cherry pie filling. This is like true cherries. Alright, I'll finish this later. I gotta get on the road. Okay, one last thing before I go. I did want to give you guys like an honest opinion about going to Washington Island yesterday because I realized I never sat down and did that. So this is going to be like the speed review. So what I'll say is if you're coming to Door County for several days, like maybe 4 or 5 days, then I would say, yeah, absolutely take a day and go to Washington Island. If you're coming for like a weekend like I did, I don't know if it's really worth taking a day out of your 2 days to go and do that. I think that there's more that I could have explored just on the main Door County Peninsula that I didn't get to. And truthfully, there's not a whole lot to do on Washington Island. I think the appeal of it is, one, just the novelty of like taking the ferry and going to an island. So that part is cool. It's a very laid back atmosphere. There isn't a lot there, and I think that's the point. So my other suggestion would be if you go to Washington Island, I would probably not bring a car because they have ATV rentals and bike rentals when you get right off the ship. You might have to like reserve ahead of time. I don't know how busy it gets, but I would actually recommend doing that because I think because there's not a lot to do, part of the appeal is like renting an ATV or a bike and just kind of like meandering around the island. I would definitely get there earlier than I did, so go as first thing in the morning as you can because some of the places close early on Saturday for some reason. So the earlier you get there, the more you'll be able to do. And then just, you know, get a bike, get an ATV, take your time going around the island. That's kind of what makes it worth going. For me, driving the car around, going for such a short period of time and taking one of my 2 days that I'm here to do that wasn't worth it for me. Also, it was $80 round trip to take the van, whereas when you, and I think that included my per person rate, but you know, when you just go on the ferry by yourself, I think it was like $8 or something. So way cheaper just to go and then like rent a bike on the island and have fun that way. So that's my honest thoughts on Washington Island. Take it for what you want. So with that being said, I'm going to jump on the road because I need to get back to Elkhart, Indiana pretty quick because Liquify is doing like a company party tonight that I'm trying to get back in time for. So thank you guys so much for watching this third van trip that we've done so far. Hope to do many more van trips this summer, really put it to the test. Let me know down in the comments, what do you want to see about, like, is there something you want to see us do with the van? Is there a place that you think would be cool to take the van to? Like, I want all the van suggestions so that we can you know, I have 6 months with this, so as many cool things as we can do while we have this and share it with you guys. So yeah, if there's anything that you want to see or you think I should do, please leave it down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week for another video.